February.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine?
I have a son. His name is Joseph.
Joseph?
Joseph.
About nothing and everything all at once.
I'm a registered Quebec voter, so.
I am one of those melodramatic fools.
I bought my mama a house.
Neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it.
All we watch is Star Wars.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps.
I hate famous people. I hate actors. I hate musicians.
Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me.
Don't believe everything you see on TV.
Yeah,
It all keeps adding up.
is this going right now?
I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just up?
Bienvenue à cette émission spéciale consacrée à Green Day. Tout le monde connaît Green Day aujourd'hui. Les membres de la formation sont devenus des millionnaires du punk. Mais qui aurait cru il y a 20 ans qu'un groupe punk aurait réussi à vendre des millions de disques et à jouer à la radio commerciale? Et c'est pourtant ce qui est arrivé à Green Day. Il faut dire que leur musique est très accessible et accrocheuse. Le groupe est originaire de Berkeley, en Californie. Il y a Billy Joe, le leader de la formation, et Mike Dirnt, le bassiste, qui se sont rencontrés alors qu'ils avaient 11 ans. Ils sont devenus inséparables. Ils ont commencé à jouer de la musique dans leur sous-sol. Ils ont grandi en écoutant DOA, les Dead Kennedys et aussi Motley Crue. Et en 1990, alors qu'ils avaient seulement 17 ans, ils ont lancé un premier album sur étiquette indépendante qui a pour titre 39 Smooth. Par la suite, le batteur actuel du groupe Treco s'est joint à eux. Et en 1992, le deuxième album de Green Day est sorti. Il avait pour titre Kerplunk. Et c'est en 1994, avec la sortie de l'album Dookie, que Green Day a réécrit l'histoire. Après la pause, on vous présente un portrait d'un des plus grands symboles de la génération MTV.
Well, okay, I've never been big enough to play on the football team. Way back, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never been the most was never the most popular guy in school. I was kind of wasn't a nerd, but I was kind of more like I was invisible. You know,
come from where when you go to high school in like the 9th grade, they shave your head. It's either that or you get your ass kicked a lot. And so, it's pretty grim.
Did you guys have pretty normal upbringings, like sort of, you know, middle class, you know, values? I know it's hard to define normal, but
Yeah, actually, I think in the United States nowadays, yes, we did. Very dysfunctional, messed up families. Yes, we poor.
That's
yeah,
normal.
That's normal.
Broke,
you know.
and more broke. Mother was a waitress. 6 kids, single parent, no father.
wow.
My mom was so poor she couldn't even pay attention. I was neglected.
I mean, we weren't, I mean, it was always a struggle. I mean, it's like we weren't feeling sorry for ourselves. I mean, that's the thing about my family is they take a lot of pride and they're not, like, they're not what kind of people that take handouts. I don't take handouts or anything like that, you know, but it's just because, you know, that's southern Oklahoma kind of thing.
When I was younger, thought that the world circled around me. But in time, I realized I was so wrong. My immortal thoughts turned into trees of indigestion. It was a tragic case of my reality.
And I think punk is like about absolute freedom, you know. Where kids can't come here and they have a lot of freedom. They're definitely away from mom and dad and their teachers and stuff like that, but it's still, punk rock is a very small, inbred kind of community, you know, where it has nothing you know, there's no mainstream, there's no MTV, there's no Much Music, there's no Music Plus, there's, you know, hardly any kind of fanzines, or like, there's hardly any kind of like big, there's no Rolling Stones, there's no Spins, there's like, just like small fanzines like Comet Bus, Absolutely Zippo, and stuff like that.
We're a different thing now, that's all, you know? It's, we're a mainstream rock and roll band, you know, but that's what we are, we're rock and roll.
Yeah, we just want to, we want to experience music for every aspect that it has to offer, you know, and...
We're not going to say, you know, we're, you know... It came to a point where you know, we were probably doing more damage to these punk shows than we were doing good, you know, because people were going and having conflicts, and some people wouldn't get it, other people would get it. Now a Green Day show is a Green Day show. You go, everyone's kind of there for the same reason type of thing, you know. Punk rock's always going to exist in small factions, you know, the only people who...
En 2014, Green Day a fait un passage remarqué à Woodstock 2. Le groupe s'en est même donné à cœur joie en participant à une bataille debout. Et le bassiste du groupe, Mike Dirnt, a même perdu 3 dents lors de cette bagarre générale qui a éclaté tout de suite après le spectacle du groupe. Mais la bonne nouvelle, c'est qu'après le passage de Green Day à Woodstock 2, l'album Dookie a dépassé le cap des 10 millions de copies vendues.
And, you know, I'm not...
It's not like normal and a conservative, like, straight.
Okay. Yeah.
So how do you define normal?
Well, I mean, to sit down and have a real conversation with somebody. Nothing, you know, I'm not in with, you know, meeting people that are famous and getting into them because they're famous. I don't like, I'm not into that. I hate famous people. I hate actors. I hate musicians. I just...
Yeah, normal,
you
know what normal is to you, yeah. and you gotta look for that.
I've come to realize, just being in Los Angeles, how contrived the entire, like, the whole the scene, not necessarily the outside people, but the people that are stuck in the, like, the industry and stuff like that, and how everybody, you know, I don't know, it's just this weird thing. There's always, you know, people are always expecting me to be rude to them. People are always expecting me to, like, take off my pants in front of them, or, you know, they're expecting me to do something, so everyone's always got their guard up against me, you know. Well, don't get lonely now.
But you created that. I mean, that's surely you have to take responsibility for people seeing you that way.
Well, yeah, but I mean, people don't have to be stupid enough to totally digest all of that, you know. I mean, that's...
Don't believe everything you see on TV.
Yeah, really,
and, you know, and as for a live show, you know, music does things to people.
The Woodstock footage is, I don't know if it was fun for you guys, but it's an extraordinary piece of tape. Like, it must have been really wild to be in the middle of that.
It was just another gig, man. We just went in, we played, and we left, and it was kind of fun. It was kind of neat. It was total anarchy for a little bit, but it was, in all honesty, it was just another day on our tour, and in the midst of a bunch of other crappy shows.
We played kind of badly. We didn't play. It wasn't the greatest, like, performance as far as just our musicianship was concerned. But, you know, it was the same gig we've always played, but just with a lot of mud. And we went in, we were skeptical about it. We had a good time, we had a bad time. It was just sort of this weird, you know, we didn't really know. I'm just opinionless about the thing. I mean, it'll stand out in my memory for the rest of my life, that's for sure.
Well, I don't take nothing for granted, and I'll be the first one to tell you that right now. Because we're lucky that we were able to play music for the rest of our lives. You know, I mean, we didn't have a choice. We don't have educations. Dropped out of school basically to play music, and that's the only thing. If I wasn't playing music right now, I'd be playing music. I'd be playing music no matter what. But no, I don't take this for granted. Every day, you get pretty thankful for what you got, and I don't know. I just, you know, I mean, there is a lot of stress. There's like more stress that people that basically, like, the general public is not going to understand, that kind of pressure. But I'm not going to go around complaining about it, you know, because there's other things that are much more serious to worry about.
There is a tendency that people overlook, you know, this, you make money, so there's a list of problems that goes away, but there's a list of problems this big that arrives with it all, which, you know, incurs like all your family's financial problems and everything else that, you know, and lots of other, just everything is on a bigger level.
Yeah.
And it does, at a point you just go, man, you know, you just need to step back and go, hey, music is an escape from all this crap, and just relax about it, you know, I mean.
I mean, when you sign Hootie and the Blowfish and go golfing, you know.
When you signed the paper, you know, you kind of had an obligation, you know, to put out for the people that you get your records to.
Après avoir vendu 10 millions d'exemplaires de l'album Dookie, le groupe Green Day est de retour avec un nouvel album qui a pour titre Insomniac. Et le premier extrait de cet album-là, c'est la chanson Gig Sting Breath. Et le vidéoclip pour cette chanson-là est complètement dément. On voit un gars qui se fait arracher une dent sur la chaise du dentiste.
All of your lives have changed a couple of times. I mean, once with the record taking off, and then making some serious life decisions. Is it playing out in the music?
Well, not in a direct way. There's just more of sort of an overtone to it, you know. You can sort of tell that there's something there. When I write songs, I don't really write, like you talk about like a lot of personal songwriting, I kind of go more to the core of that emotion or feeling that you get from the time, and I don't really talk about, you know, oh, it sucks getting up again in the middle of the night to feed my baby or whatever, you know. It's just, you know, I'm fucking tired. The last record sort of had more of an apathetic overtone to it, and this one is sort of on the brink of self-destruction, kind of near insanity and stuff like that, and kind of borderlines. That there's a lot more songs that are about places on this record, like a song like Stewart in the Avenue and Tightwad Hill. That's the kind of music we've been playing for a long time. You know, it's not something that we imitated off Dookie. It's not something that, you know, it's just a style that we've kind of come...
The only critics in the writing of this album are us. We're pretty brutal towards ourselves on these songs. When we structure things and stuff, we just kind of critical and go through everything we can until we get what we think is right.
Rely a lot on each other?
It's not really a matter of relying on each other anymore. It's just more like...
It's kind of song. It's weird. It's like if it's not right, if we're not doing it right, or someone's not doing their part right, you already kind of have a sense that it may not be right, and then you know, then if you're not sure, then you ask the other guys or something. But you know, most of the time, if it's working right, then everyone should be doing their part okay.
Since '88, you know, it's just a real natural. We get together and it just happens, basically. So it's nothing special, not like some god comes out of the sky and says, Mike, I guarantee you must play this bass line and first take 2 hits of LSD and then come up with this shuffle beat and then comes out with Longview or anything like that. But, you know, half of that's true, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody
knows the feeling of having a typical
That's right. Why not laugh at somebody else's painful once?
You know, I mean, people are getting sick of, like, seeing fleshy bodies and, you know, sex-oriented television, you know.
Give them the choice, and then they run right back to it, a lot of them.
Nothing sexual about a tooth extraction.
Not here, though.
No.
Not here.
Why did you make this video? You haven't said yet.
We happen to like it a lot.
Yeah, but I think it was a very original idea. And it was fun. It was fun. My friend Paul's got really bad teeth, and I was like, do you want, you know, he's like, do you want to get your tooth taken out on video? And he's like, yeah, sure, you want to be on our video? But he's like, yeah. I go, okay, put this suit on. And then he did it, and he was really happy because he, well, I went through all this pain, at least I get to see it and have the videotape of it. And the video on MTV, they're only playing it. They won't play it anymore.
They won't?
They won't play it during the day. Wait, get this. And the excuse was, women are offended. I think that's sexist to say that women aren't as tough as men. I think that people in general with weak stomachs were offended, but I think that, you know, the ironic thing is that we made that video for people that we thought would get it, you know, and we're scaring people off.
There's tons more, like, offensive commercials that they run every day.
And we just decided the next video we're going to have lots of naked women and drugs and guns, and we'll get played constantly.
Les gars de Green Day se sont souvent fait reprocher de faire de l'argent tout en étant punk, mais ça, ils s'en foutent complètement. Ils baissent le prix de leurs billets de spectacle pour leurs fans et puis ils partagent leur nouvelle fortune avec les membres de leur famille. Et malgré leur jeune âge, malgré leur vie étourdissante et le fait qu'ils sont issus de familles éclatées, les gars de Green Day croient aux valeurs familiales. Billy Joe est marié à un petit garçon d'1 an. Trey Cool est aussi marié et il y a une petite fille d'1 an qui s'appelle Ramona. Et Mike Dirnt, le bassiste, s'est marié l'été dernier. Alors, dans cette dernière partie de l'émission, les gars de Green Day vous parlent de leur succès, de leur famille et de leurs projets futurs.
Move to Canada.
Oh, you mean the next date after today?
No, just I'm gonna buy like part of like the Northwest territories. You know, maybe a big, you know, visible chunk of it. I'm gonna build a little hut.
Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go to all the other countries in the world and we're going to petition to turn their countries into Canada so we can all be in Canada. We'll figure if we start with the smaller countries, you know, they'll be more likely to turn into Canada than like a big country like the United States or something stupid.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps.
I think actually California, if California would succeed or secede, whatever, secede from the United States and just like join up with Mexico, that would be dope. We could just like skate all the way to Guatemala
Show
that
off
way.
the belly button, then put on like my white skates and some leg warmers.
Yeah.
Leg warmers and a headband, wristband.
There you go.
There
It's
you
like
go.
Karate Kid on skates.
You got that checkered headband too. It's fucking dope. Oh, did I say that?
Listen to a little Night Fever.
Night fever.
I sit around and watch a deal, but nothing's on. I drink your channels for an hour or two. Clean all my thumbs just for a minute. Take out all the same old shit. In your house with the mud guards and I'm fucking waiting.
How does your life change because of your success?
It hasn't really changed us. I mean, we're still the same people. We don't have, you know, big extravagant lifestyles, and we never have.
The difference is I'm allowed to pay for all the medical bills from every time I break my arms or my head or my teeth or my whatever.
You take care of your families?
Oh yeah.
I bought my mom a house.
You bought your mom a house? Recently?
Yeah, I mean,
That's great.
I don't need a lot. She does. You know, I got little sisters and stuff, and since my mom's Native American Indian, and since the government didn't want to give her what's rightfully hers, I had to give her something. So.
Doesn't that make you feel good, using your money that way?
Yeah, I mean,
It's like giving away your last cigarette. It's that good feeling you get inside, you know.
Totally.
It's better than smoking the last cigarette. Give it away.
Right.
No. But you know what? I think I'll start.
What about your friends, your buddies from when you were 17 and playing in clubs and stuff? You still are friends with them?
yeah, I mean, all of our friends, everyone that I've been close to are like still my friends, you know. They kind of keep you in check once in a while. They kind of grab you and say, don't be an asshole, you know, don't get big-headed, don't get an ego.
We've been touring
Don't be
for so
redundant.
long. You know that we've been touring for a while now. You know, they're used to us leaving for months and then coming back again and checking on us. So.
Yeah, it was great when we stopped touring in November and we took like 8 months off, and it was a good time to like get back in sync with our friends and you know see how everybody else is doing. You know, it's like I don't really care about talking about myself too much. I'd rather see what they've been doing in their lives and stuff. I met a woman from Minneapolis in 1990. Her name is Adrian. Now she's my wife.
You meet her because of touring and stuff, and you know.
Yeah, it was the first time I was 18 years old, the first tour we went out on, and there was like 5 people at this show, and
And she was one of them, and the other 3 were her sisters.
One of and her boyfriend.
And her boyfriend.
99 dead baboons sitting in my living room.
We come from a, that kind of background, do-it-yourself sort of attitude, and we don't really do things ourselves anymore, and things are, we do to a certain extent, and we definitely carry a lot of ethics along the way, but it's just different.
A lot of your fans don't even know who the Ramones are.
I don't think that they need to know who the Ramones are. I mean, I respect the Ramones a lot, and they've been very influential, but you're talking about kids that weren't even fucking born yet, I mean, I was only 5 years old. I barely really felt what the Ramones were like,
People are going, yeah, I saw the Ramones back in '77. So, yeah, well, I saw Sesame Street that day, okay? Big deal,
Yeah,
I mean, it probably was a big deal, but a lot of people look back with a jaded perspective, like they were there. It couldn't have possibly ever happened again. When, in all actuality, every day for the last 15 years, there's been punk shows going on all over the world, and there will continue.
Yeah, especially in the '80s. That's where we come from.
There's a lot going on musically in the '80s that people don't know about just because the bands weren't selling millions of records. When we started Green Day, we certainly didn't think that our type of music was, easily audible or widely accessible.
Are you going to try to do the same thing you did on your last tour, on your next tour, and keep ticket prices down? I think that's something a lot of people will appreciate it.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what's behind that? Because
there's no political reason or anything. Other bands can do whatever they want. I have nothing against their ticket prices. This is just what we...
At this point, our ticket price...
It makes sense to us. How much money does someone need? We sold a lot of records.
Millions.
Yeah, and we don't need it. We don't.
Certainly don't need.
Not to try to sound high and mighty. I don't want to sound holier than thou. I don't want to sound holier than thou at all.
But we don't want to cash in, or
Yeah.
We don't want to go in and say, well, since we're popular, then we think we should charge like $23.
It's like,
because that way we can buy new mansions every whatever fucking 5 years, and screw that.
For some people, we still have expensive ticket prices.
It's the multitude of gold chains that I buy that help me think of that next song, And
it's looking good that gets me through the day.
Usually it's the Ferraris that we pull up in, the cocaine backstage.
Lost inside myself, my own friend and my own voices everywhere. I'm breaking, now that's jealousy. Never trusted anyone around myself.
Did you feel you were not misunderstood, but did you feel people understood what you were about? Because a lot of people put some punk pressure on you guys, saying like you were punk, so you had to be a certain way.
I don't know.
We've just always been Green Day. We've never been completely dedicated to one particular genre of people or anything. It's just, and when it came to be that lots of different people like to see us, Green Day became something different, and so we removed it from that direction. And now, a Green Day show is just a Green Day show mixed with all sorts of people, but hopefully everyone's there for the same reason, to release whatever and just have fun and surf.
Yeah.
It's like if you compare something like.
So, but you gotta walk that far enough. You can't.
En 1994, on assiste en Amérique à une renaissance du punk rock, musique contestataire popularisée à la fin des années 70 par des groupes comme The Sex Pistols et The Clash. Cette année, les chiffres de vente de groupes comme Green Day et Offspring sont énormes. Le groupe Green Day a vendu 3 millions d'exemplaires de son album Dookie aux États-Unis et 300 000 au Canada. De son côté, Offspring a vendu 3 500 000 copies de son album Smash aux États-Unis et 200 000 exemplaires au Canada. Récemment, j'ai rencontré plusieurs groupes punk afin de comprendre cette percée inattendue du punk.
Do you think we're going to a punk revival, or it's just the medias are starting to get interested in punk music now these days?
Punk has always been around.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I mean, it's just, I think maybe it's becoming like a fashion thing now or something. I don't know. But I mean, it's always been around. It's just been like small communities of people dealing with it, and I know that's what you should be doing actually. So.